Good morning, SoulCircle!
I'm Candice.
And I'm Steven, and we're from Arcana, Mind, Body, Spirit, located in Toronto, Canada. And as you can see, we're together today! Yay. It's so nice to see everyone. So, let's see, our name's going to be on the right. Ooh, it even knows which sides we're on. This is awesome. So we are super excited to be here today because Candice and I are starting to celebrate a time of year that's really important to us. Yep. It is summer solstice, guys. So often, this is celebrated for a bunch of days all over the course of right around the longest day and the shortest night of the year. So you will be seeing a whole lot of stuff over the next few days from us about that. So before we get started on that, we just want to make sure that everyone knows where to reach us. We want to say a huge thank you to everyone who's reached out for different services that we offer over the last little while. It's been really great. You can see a whole menu of everything that you can get through Arcana on our website at www.arcanamindbodyspirit.com. You can see us on Instagram, you can see us on YouTube, and you can see us on Facebook. We're everywhere. We are everywhere you turn. Awesome. So your day's going well?
It's going well so far. Very busy. Lots of things. Lots of multitasking. Wearing lots of hats.
Lots of hats today.
Lots of hats.
Yes.
I don't actually wear hats. I don't think they look good. Anyway.
You wear the visor.
Oh, I wear my sun visor.
Yeah. Good. And this visor helps you live your high vibe life.
It sure does. It gives me that high vibe life every time I have it on.
So we've been talking a lot about different Reiki principles, different stretches and postures you can use in the morning in order to get to that high vibrational life that we're all trying to live. And today we are going to be talking about our throat chakra, the Visuddha chakra. Oh, are we behind? Oh.
Hey!
Hi! Oh! If you've never done any work with your throat chakra and you're interested in finding out more, Candice and I did a fantastic video at the beginning of this year. We did a whole week based on it. We did the Bija mantras using malas. We asked each other some crazy soul-searching questions about our relationship with talking, which if you follow our channel, you know I have a very wide open throat chakra.
You do?
Shocked. Appalled. So please check out that video. It is on our YouTube channel, and while you're there, please hit like and subscribe because that helps us out more than you can ever know. Darling, why don't you start diving on into some Visuddha?
Okay, so I've got a bunch of notes here because, like I said, today is a day of hats, and I want to make sure that I don't miss anything. So we're going into the throat chakra, which is the fifth of the main chakras, located right here in the center of your neck. The throat chakra is a masculine energy, visually represented by the 16-petal blue flower that Steve had up. The mantra for this chakra is I speak, and it's associated with sound, which makes sense. It's actually the first of the upper chakras that are more about the ethereal or spiritual principles versus the physical ones that we have already talked about this week, which are the lower ones, moving from down and up. So now that we're in here and we're thinking about the throat chakra, this one's actually really important with the sacral chakra. So your sacral chakra is all about your creativity, and your throat chakra is actually about how you're expressing that. So how you actually are going to express that individuality. So when you're focused on the throat chakra, you're thinking about digging into that internal truth within yourself and how you're going to bring that out to the surface. So again, important things to remember here is that internal dialogue. We all have it going through our heads, and we want to make sure that we're having a positive internal dialogue with ourselves, because that's going to be the make or break of whether or not we feel comfortable with expressing it or keeping it trapped in, which creates those blocks. And in turn, if this is not coming out, then this is all blocked and it's all cluttered up, and then you can't reach the other guys. So it's really, really important to really be able to express yourself with honesty and integrity. And it makes you think of the Toltec rule to be impeccable with your word.
Yeah.
It's a great book if you haven't read it.
Make sure you read it. I think every single person in the world should read it.
It's a great book. So what else do we want to say? Being in flow with your throat chakra, we embrace ourselves and remembering what makes you unique and what connects you to the world around you. A throat chakra blockage can show up in a lot of different ways. Feeling shy, feeling insecure, having social anxiety. I know for myself in the past, when there were some traumas that happened to me and I wasn't disclosing, I had this thing literally would happen on a regular basis. The slightest cold or anything, if I was like super tired, I would lose my voice. Like I'm talking like
I remember that.
No voice.
Yeah.
Like absolutely no sound could come out of my throat anymore. So it was something that I noticed. And once I started going to talk therapy, once I had disclosed these traumas to in a safe space and to the people that I love and that love me, that doesn't really happen anymore. Other things you might notice, like you might like get like sore gums, or just like this whole area gets like kind of inflamed and sore. So that's something to look out for. Again, I'm not saying that you should only work on your chakra if you have a really sore throat for a while, because no, banging a chakra crystal bowl is not going to get rid of your strep throat. But
it can help
energetically. It can help you feel better, but it'll bring some awareness to those areas and maybe look at the behaviors and the things that you're doing so that you're staying in an open flow of that energy. And as Steve mentioned, we have some great videos already out that talks deeper about that. Other affirmations, there it is. There we are on our blue. Other affirmations that you can use to keep in flow with this chakra. I wrote a couple here so that I wouldn't forget them. I use my voice to express who I am, and I do so clearly. Or another. When I listen intently and actively, just as I know when to speak. So it's a really important thing with this, with your throat chakra, is that although it's about expressing your internal self, you need to find the balance of also listening. So you don't want to just keep spewing it out. It's also about listening. It's also about having balance within that, knowing when to speak and knowing when to speak up, knowing when to express in those safe places, right?
Yeah, and I find with the throat chakra more than a lot of the other chakras, a lot of people try and open the throat and open it and that can cause overactivity, which is what you're saying too.
Yeah.
Keeping that balance, right? You don't want to have an underactive, but you also don't want an overactive. Have that balance, which is where the listening comes in.
Exactly. In our video, we go into it a lot more and kind of describe that. So if you want to know more about that, if you're wondering, do I have an overactive throat chakra versus just a blocked one? The video really goes into depth more about that. Another one that I wrote here, I stand up for myself through the power of my voice because what I believe in has great value and deserves to be said. Other great tools for the throat chakra and keeping it in flow, essential oils are peppermint, basil, cypress, crystals, lapis lazuli, azurite, blue lace agate.
Yes.
Yep.
One of my favorite here is a blue kyanite. Love this. When I have trouble with my throat chakra, I have one that I wear around my neck all the time. Like I wore it. It looks exactly like this, just a little bit smaller. I mean, it's a bit much.
It's like that big Yellowstone.
Do like this.
Just hanging on your neck.
Yeah.
The big bell. Other tools that you can utilize, again, this is about expressing, and sometimes it can be difficult to do that. So journaling is a great place to start. Talk therapy, if there's things that are maybe don't feel safe to talk about yet, but are maybe holding you back from being in flow. Eating green and blue algae or kelp. Blueberries, right? I can't think of any other blue foods at the top of my head.
Kool-Aid? No, blue freezies?
Blue drink? Yeah, there you go. But also staying away from dairy. I feel like dairy can, it gives you that like, that like in your throat kind of thing. You want to like lessen that. So again, if you're feeling like you want to focus on this chakra, you take down the dairy intake. And of course, meditating, wearing blue, focusing on the color blue, light a blue candle, whatever it is like that, just bringing that awareness to you when you're doing the work for this. So in the end, it's not always easy. Again, speaking your truth. So start by doing it with someone you trust and create a safe space when you want to open up and really activate your throat chakra. Again, I want to just point out it's important not to jump into some trauma bonding. That's not what we're talking about. Again, that's the overactive part of it.
Yeah.
And it can be not a positive experience. And because we want to remember that our most authentic self is a lot more than just the pain and the hurt and trauma and the different things that have happened to us. So, we want to focus on expressing that when you need to, but also think about what you gained from it, right? The perseverance, the resourcefulness, the strength, those things that came from it are also what you need to be expressing as well and discussing. And that could be a really great and powerful conversation to be had.
Yeah.
So again, just a reminder, the balance of being heard, but also listening. In order to truly live that high vibrational life with intention and empowerment, we have to appreciate our own lived experiences and be able to share and express with others without shame.
I like that.
The power of self-expression and speaking your truth, but also knowing when to speak and when to listen is a literal superpower that we all have, and it can change your life for the better.
For sure.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. I actually really love working with the throat chakra. There have been times in my life where I've been totally out of balance, absolutely out of balance in that chakra. And then once you sort of refine your footing there, everything in your life seems to be easier and more flow, and everything seems to work. Don't you find?
Absolutely. 100%. It was a game changer once this was open. Really, really, really changed it. I know exactly when it's not.
Yeah, when it's coming. When it's right here.
Yeah.
And having that physical manifestation, sometimes when you do have a block or there's something that's not in flow there, actually shows a lot of attunement to your own body temples. So that's really good.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, so why don't we do a little bit of wake up morning stretch that we can do in order to achieve this. Now, I have Candice here today, so we're going to do this together.
Yay.
And we're going to look like crazy people as we do so.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
My most authentic self.
Yeah. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to work with what we call cat-cow.
Meow.
Okay. Meow. All right, so what we're going to do is we're actually going to be on our hands and knees here. When we are in this position, we want to be what we call tabletop to start. Okay, so you want to have from where your knees are, you want to try and create a straight line here through your hip flexors so we're not sitting too far back or sitting too far forward. Just nice and tabletop so that you know what your even keel is, let's say. Now from here, we are going to curve our spine and drop our head and try and imagine our whole center is going to lift all the way up into our back. You're going to feel this huge contraction. And as you do that, you're going to inhale so that when you push out, you're going to go to the opposite and you're going to try and look all the way up at the ceiling as you exhale. So we're going to go inhale and exhale. And inhale and exhale. Now we're going to stop in this exhale position for a moment. It's nice to sort of let your, wag your tail if you can, release through your hip flexors back there. Take your gaze a little bit higher. Really feel that nice big stretch. Now this is where we're going to get a little bit goofy. We want to be in this position. We're going to open our mouths wide and stick out our tongue. And really allow yourself to really open that throat chakra. In our throat chakra video, we actually do what is called a lion's breath, and you should go check that out because it's hilarious. All right, wiggling it on out. What's important to think about here is what our bija mantras are, or other mantras that we can work with. Now, one that I personally like to work with is, I speak my truth and my truth is heard. I find that it's just very short and succinct, and it can be very empowering as you start your day. But again, like we've been saying all week, is it's really nice to have whatever your calling is, whatever your work is, trying to have something that really resonates with you. Maybe just even understanding your truth and being able to articulate your words. Maybe you're very quiet and you want to push yourself more into an extroverted space in the world and take up more space. This is a great chakra in order to do that. The bija mantra for this one is Hum. Okay, so the reason why there's that at the beginning is in order to push that air out. So try not to say just like ham and keep it back. That's not the point of this whatsoever. Hum. Allow yourself to really push it out. Hum. You'll even feel that vibration in here, yeah. And that even comes back to like humming. All of that is all really resonant in these chambers. And there's small little activities that you can do that can really open up. Something that I love to do when I'm working with my throat chakra is sing. Sing in the shower, put on your favorite jams, sing when no one's listening. And that's a really great way to express yourself and open it up and not feel judgment. It's a nice way of feeling that. Okay, let's talk about astrology right now for a minute, shall we?
Let's do it.
It's summer solstice! We're so excited. I love summer solstice. I'm like a summer baby, 100%. I'm just like obsessed with celebrating fire and heat and passion. Not to say I don't like working the other half of the wheel. I really do like shadow work and I appreciate that. But when we're in this corridor of energy, I just feel so alive and empowered. And it's really interesting for me that even like not spiritually, not metaphysically at all, June is usually a big month of celebration. There's a lot of food festivals. There's a lot of ethnicity festivals in different cities. There's pride celebrations. There's all over the world. There's so many.
Your birthday.
My birthday.
Your husband's birthday.
My husband's birthday.
Your wedding anniversary.
My anniversry. There's a lot of celebrating for me. I love summer solstice. So, that being said, astrologically, that means it is the longest day and the shortest night. And that's coming up this weekend, depending where you are in the world. It could be either Sunday or Monday or maybe even Saturday, I guess. Yeah. So, and often people celebrate for multiple days. This is a festival where people celebrate for a long time. So, because of that, our guide for today is the sun. Yay. All right, sun is just cover your face. The sun is it's all maximum potential. You have all the power within you. You are the longest day. You are not the shortest night, right? It is inside you to be bright. It is inside you to be powerful. It is inside you to beam across all shadows in your life. You have that power. So we give that to you as your guide for today, and we empower you to find places where shadows are cast in your life that need a bit of illumination. That is some good medicine, I think, right there.
It is.
All right, so on Monday, we will also be coming live. We're going to try and make sure that we get back to our regular schedule, but we'll do our best with summer solstice and everything taking place. We're going to finish with our chakras next week, and then we're going to take the information that we've integrated from our chakras, and we're going to put it together just like we did with our Reiki principles. And then by the end of the week, what I'm hoping to do is apply the Reiki principles, the chakra principles, and go through the 5-minute wake up ritual I do every morning in order to get on point. So I think it sounds like a really nice week next week. So be sure, hit that notification bell, make sure that you're here to join us for anything. Any last words, darling?
Oh.
And I think
that's a good place to
that's
leave
where we leave it. All right, namaste, SoulCircle.
Much love. Have a great day.
We're live.